Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nur Arif Maka. My metric number 271229. Okay, now I want to present about introduction. In Indonesia, the term GST is known as a value add tax, which is 11%. GST was introduced in France in 1954 by Marie Lyons to replace a system that relied heavily on volatile tax based on sale to compensate with a influence income tax system. This study was conducted to see when Indonesia start GST tax and the effect of GST on Indonesia. In this study, we chose Indonesia as our area of study.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Usma binti Isha and my matric number is 277959. So today I'm going to continue our presentation with the next topic, which is definitions, and I'm going to discuss a little bit about the definition of GST, or we know as good and service tax. It was one of the consumption tax based on the concept of value added, and it is applied at every level of production and distribution along the supply chain, even on the imported item. And in Indonesia, GST is also known as value added tax, or we call as VAT, and it is a tax that collected by the government organizations. So now I will continue our presentation with the next point, which is the purpose of VAT. There are 5 important purpose of VAT that live in the Indonesia, and the first one, it is functioning for determining the tax deficits or the surplus. The second one, it is used as the budgetary function. The third one, it is used as the result of the government regulations. The fourth one, which is the purpose of value added tax in relation to the stability of the state revenue, and the last one, it as a state financing mechanism.
Thank you. I will continue this presentation with tax classification. Tax classification as 3, such as tax techniques, tax basis, and rate structure. For tax technique, there's 2 different concepts. One is legal incident and another one is economic incident. For legal incident is party to deliver tax payment to the government. Another one is economic incident, such as party who will bear the loss as a result of this VAT tax, such as buyer. These tax techniques are indirect tax, where the 2 incidents are not from the same party. We will continue with tax basis. Tax basis is imposed on activity or item in determining the amount of taxable. Another one is the basic of the tax imposed in Indonesia due to the VAT tax is the consumption, or can be said to be a tax imposed on goods and service when sold, such as KFC and so on. Okay, we will continue tax classification under a rate structure. The rate structure is lump sum, where VAT rate is Indonesia as much as 10%, is quite huge number. Another one is this structure was proportional rate, that is taxed at the same rate from 2019 to 2021. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
So next, I'm going to talk about the tax rate. Indonesia charges GST at a rate of 10%, which is one of the highest in Southeast Asia. But through government regulation, the tax rate can be reduced to a minimum of 5% and can be up to a maximum of 10%. In general, all countries that implement GST impose taxes on all goods and services. However, some goods and services are exempt from paying tax. In Indonesia, goods and services that are not subject to GST are listed in Law Number 45 of 2009. The goods that are not subject to GST are as follows, such as mineral, such as crude oil, gas, coal, and iron ore. The second one is basic necessities, such as rice, sagu, and salt. The third one is food and beverage at any restaurant, stall, hostel, or catering service. The type of service that are not subject to GST is one of the healthcare service includes specialist veterinary. Second is social service such as orphanage, nursing home. The third one is religious service, and the last one is educational service. Next is Indonesia give privilege for foreign tourists by allowing the tourists to make a claim on GST that has been paid for goods obtained in the country. But the good purchase must be at least 500,000.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Namashta Beti Azizan, Normatric 280679. We'll continue the presentation about the principle of taxation. In the principle of taxation, there are three main components in measuring the effectiveness of a tax, which consists of equity, economic efficiency, and the effectiveness of tax administration. We choose equity as the taxation principle for goods and service tax (GST) for the reason that GST is seen to use the theory found in equity, that is interest theory. In the good and service tax (GST), it is seen to use the theory of benefit, that is the sacrifice of the utilities. There is a vertical equity for the people in Indonesia. This is because the goods and service tax imposed by the Indonesian government is seen to impose the same tax rate even though there are differences in the economic background of the community there. This shows that the people still buy goods and service because it does not change the number of consumers even though the price charged on goods and service increase. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presentation.
Okay, now we go to conclusion. Okay, in Indonesia, GST is known as a value allocation tax or PPN. Good and service tax is a consumption tax based on the concept of value added. It is used at every stage of production and distribution along the supply chain, even on import item. In Indonesia, the tariff imposed is 10%, but there is an increase in VAT tax, which is a new rate in Indonesia of 11% in 2022, which come into force on 1 April 2022. Through government regulation, the tax rate can be reduced to minimum of 5% and maximum of 50%. The GST change PPK is an entrepreneur who achieve annual sales revenue of more than 600 million rupiah. Business that do not achieve result are called small entrepreneurs and do not need to register the business under the country GST law. That's all from me. Thank you.
So in the second part, we will present about the impact of GST tax on central government revenue, economic growth, and society in Indonesia. This study is based on the study that has been done in the part 1, which is connected to the good and service tax and the analysis of the tax.
Okay, now I want to present about central government revenue. Okay, among the effect of GST is to be a source of income for Indonesia, where the tax imposed on society is used by the government to pay national expenses such as paying the salaries of civil servant and national debt. Next, increase the sale volume of local product where GST can also restrict or reduce goods imported into Indonesia to encourage the community to buy locally made goods. Furthermore, the Indonesian government can also reduce the percentage of unemployment in Indonesia due to small and medium industry are growing. So that's all for me. I pass to my friend. Thank you.
Next, I will continue our presentations and I will explain about the effect of taxations to the economic growth. There are a strong associations between the economic growth and the tax revenue. However, the tax revenue growth is not as rapid as the economic growth because generally the tax revenue from the international trade sector has a favorable effect on the economic growth, whereas the tax revenue from other sectors has a negligible effect. The government money received from the taxation contribute significantly to the economic growth of the region or the country. And continuity in the tax collection will maintain the economic growth even during the recession.
Thank you. I will continue effect of GST tax to society. From the function of VAT as a national finance mechanism, in addition to paying public expenditure and national growth, VAT also serves to create employment opportunity. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 pandemic, Indonesia society is under pressure where their cost of living increase and they are unable to buy good or service because of this. GST tax is higher such as in 10% rate is a huge number. Another is government also offer numerous VAT facilities for particular good and service such as KFC and many more. And lower socioeconomic class is the majority of consumption goes toward purchasing is needed that are exempt from this VAT. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, the service and goods tax is very helpful to the people and government to develop the country. Any government should help the people to better understand the benefit of this tax imposed because the lack of information causes the people to consider this tax only burdensome. This tax also help the government make the country to a high income country as the GST broadens the nation tax and generate more money. It is also claimed to be significantly superior to the sales and service tax or SST. That's all from our group. Thank you.